Me, I'm just done in a hype. Me, I'm just done.
So this is the packaging that the hair comes in. Like, oh my god, just look at this. Isn't it so pretty? Like, I feel like I got a gift. So these two colors is the colors that I'll be using, and you can get these from any beauty supply. I'll be coloring a 14-inch and a 16-inch, and the bundles are really full, and plus a 16-inch closure. So I went ahead and just combed out the bundles with my rat tail comb. I got this from Sally's, and you can really use any comb, that's fine. And once again, this is the color. I'm about to pour it into my mixing bowl. As you can see me doing here, you want to make sure you empty out the entire bottle. So I'm going to add some white conditioner. I'm going to be using TRESemme Moisture Rich Luxurious Moisture, and this will help with the just the thickness of the paste. And I'm really using it to lighten up the color because Adore is already really runny, which I love. So this will lighten up the color. I want a more lighter pink for the bundle that's going to be on the bottom. And now you just want to take your mixer and just mix it real good. And that's all you're going to see me doing here. I'm mixing like I'm going crazy. I'm going to add just a little more conditioner. So now you're going to take your applicator brush. You can also get from any beauty supply store, or you can get from Sally's. And another thing I love about adding white conditioner to my color is because I let this color sit for about 2-3 hours, and the conditioner acts as a deep conditioner. So it penetrates into the hair really well, and it makes the hair so soft. Like, it's crazy. I love it. I'm just in love. I'm in love. So as you can see me doing here, I'm just combing out the hair as I get done coloring it, because it's so easy to miss a spot. So you want to make sure that you're getting that color through throughout the hair completely. So you major key, like, you have to comb it out as you go. You can't wait until you're done. So now I'm just going to flip the bundle over and do the exact same thing to the other side to make sure that the color is completely throughout the hair. Like, you want to do this at least 2 or 3 times to make sure you didn't miss a spot. Like, it's so easy to miss a spot. You have to be extra careful and take extra steps. So as you can see, I keep opening up the track to make sure that I get the color onto the weft as well as the hair. So you want to make sure that the entire bundle is covered, including the wefts. So now I'm going to begin coloring the closure. And when you're coloring the closure, you have to be super careful to not get any color on the lace. So now you want to use your comb to open up the closure so you can get in there to color the inside, because if you just color the outside of the closure, you're going to have pink on the outside and blonde on the inside. So just make sure you're extra careful when doing this step. So now we're done with the closure. I went ahead and already did the second bundle off camera just to save time. So this is what it looks like, completely covered in pink. So now all I'm doing is rinsing out the color, and I let this color sit for about 2-3 hours. So after you rinse it all out, you want to make sure that the water is running clear. That's how you know the color is completely gone. And then you want to condition the hair, and I'm going to be using the same conditioner that I use in the color, which is the TRESemme Luxurious Moisture. And I think I got this from, I bought this a while ago. I want to say Walgreens, but honestly, you can get it from any, like, department store, like Walgreens or Target, anywhere that sells TRESemme products. Okay, now it's time to construct the wig. This is my wig block. She's pretty beat up. I done had her for a while. And I got this from offline. I'm going to be using a dome cap for this specific wig. And I got my my dome cap from Sally's. And this is what it looks like. Okay, so after you figure out where you want to lay the closure, you're going to pin it down. Now I'm just showing you guys what you're going to need: some clips and a clamp. But you're also going to need T-pins, and you can get these from really any beauty supply store. So you want to pin down the closure and use the clips to get the hair like out of the way. So once you begin sewing, you don't sew the hair, you just sew the closure. Okay, so I'm about to make my first stitch, and you just want to push the needle through the dome cap and pull it through the lace closure. And you want to kind of knot the ends about 2 or 3 times to make sure that it's really secure. And when making a unit, you want to make sure your stitches are super close together, because if they aren't, over time they'll begin to loop and they'll begin to loosen. So you want to make sure they're as close as you can get them. So once you get done with that side, you want to clip it. Okay, so now I'm going to begin sewing this side, and you should not have sewn the back. You should have just sewn the side that we just got through sewing down, because you want to sew down one side, go to the other side, and then you sew the back. now that we're finished sewing both sides of the closure, we're going to head to the back. And you don't need to cut the thread for this. You can just continue on sewing. Okay, so now that we're done completely sewing down the closure, we're going to go ahead and cut the lace. And you want to make sure that you're not cutting it too close to the thread, because you can accidentally snip it and then you'll have to sew this baby down all over again. Okay, so now we're going to start sewing the hair onto the wig, and you just want to push your needle through the weft like so, and make sure that there's a knot at the end. So we're going to begin by sewing the first track right onto the corner of the closure and just sewing it all the way around. So you can also use your T-pins to hold down the track. You just stick it into the weft, and this just makes it a little easier as you go. Okay, so I'm about halfway through laying the first track, and like I said, you just want to take it all the way around until you reach the other end of the closure. Okay, so now that we've reached the other corner of the closure, I'm going to go ahead and just flip the weft. And once you flip the weft, you want to make sure that you sew it down really flat. And this method just prevents you from having to cut the track, which causes shedding. And plus, when you spend so much money on your hair, no one wants their tracks cut. That's the whole purpose of the wig. So. And so for the rest of the wig, you just basically want to repeat this step completely, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until you reach the top. Okay, so sorry you guys, my camera died on me, but like I said, you just want to repeat that same step and take the track back and forth, back and forth. This is the last track, and you want to get this track as close to the closure as possible so there won't be any space between the closure and the track. I know my stitches may look a little sloppy, but that's because this unit is for me. If this was for a customer, it would be a lot neater. So okay, we're completely done making the wig. Now you want to take the dome cap off of the wig block, and I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like underneath. Okay, so now what we're going to do is cut the excess dome cap from underneath the closure, and you have to be super careful not to cut any stitches. Once you're done cutting off the cap that's underneath, it should look something like this. Now to get my part exactly how I want it, I'm going to start tweezing it until I achieve my desired look. So for the cut, I'm going to be using clippers. First thing I did was put the wig on top of my head and figure out where I wanted it to lay, like how short or how long I wanted the cut to be. And then I took some shears and just cut just a small incision, so then I was able to go back with the clippers and just go over it. And recording this for you guys was so difficult, so I wasn't able to get the whole thing, but I basically did this the entire time, and it's just a clean cut bob, and I used those clippers, and it's all one length, so you could see a little bit of how I did it, but I wasn't able to get the full thing.